In most cases, rank and file Republicans are already pro-gay rights.
Hi, I'm Nick Gillespie with Reason TV, and today we're talking with David Lampo. He's the Director of Publications at the Cato Institute and an active member of the Virginia chapter of the Log Cabin Republicans and author of the new book, A Fundamental Freedom, Why Republicans, Conservatives, and Libertarians Should Support Gay Rights. David, thanks for talking to us.
Thank you.
What are gay rights as opposed to rights?
Well, I think that's kind of a political shorthand term just for the idea that gays and lesbians shouldn't be excluded from the same rights that everybody else enjoys. And that's why I wrote the book. I wanted a real fact-based primer on gay rights for right-of-center voters, even though a lot are already on board. I talk about that in the book. There's a lot of statistics out there about how they feel about these issues. Right. And in most cases, rank and file Republicans are already pro-gay rights.
So then what's holding them up? Is it just the disconnect between the rank and file and the leaders?
That's part of it.
And the religious right you talk a lot about in the book.
Right, they have a particular hold on the party. They came into the party beginning back in the 70s when actually most evangelical voters were Democrats. And as they came in and moved into the party, a lot of moderates and independents left the party.
Why shouldn't libertarians, if gay rights matter to libertarians, why shouldn't they be in the Democratic Party rather than kind of chasing after the Republicans?
Well, they have a much more holistic philosophy, a much more pro-freedom philosophy than just gay rights. If that's the only issue you're concerned about, then I would say the Democratic Party is the party for you. But gay Republicans are Republican for a reason, that they believe in a variety of issues, limited government, free enterprise, that sort of thing, and that's why they're in the party to begin with. So I think our primary goal is to transform the Republican Party and actually make it true to its roots of individual rights and limited government.
The libertarians I know tend to be very much without prejudice or discriminatory bones in their body, but then they get attacked for saying, you know, and by the same token, I don't want laws that make it difficult for an employer or a hotelier or somebody to actually have to work or serve somebody they don't want to.
Right, right. Well, I make the distinction in the book between public and private sector discrimination. Certainly libertarians all agree about public sector discrimination, and most agree that public accommodation laws really run counter to libertarian principles. And so I try to give arguments on both sides. I certainly come down on the side that, the libertarian side, that these laws really shouldn't exist. The fact that they do for a variety of other groups kind of complicates the issue, though, in my view, because if you have a law that covers public accommodation, for example, and it covers a variety of groups that have historically been discriminated against, and then you exclude by design another group, then you raise new issues of equal protection of the laws and things like that. So I think it's probably a little more nuanced issue than many libertarians think it is, but certainly my basic views are libertarian.
What do you say? Should people who are offended by the CEO of ChickfilA's religious views, should they not buy there? Should they buy there anyway? Should they, how do you work through that?
Well, boycotts are as American as apple pie, and many groups, disenfranchised groups, have used them over the years. So the civil rights movement, of course, used them. And ironically, I think the right wing is a little disingenuous about this issue, because it's not merely that he spoke out and told the public what his views are on this. Chick-fil-A puts millions of dollars into political campaigns to defeat gay marriage, in support of Proposition 8 that took away a marriage right that already existed. That's really the primary basis for the boycott. I think it's fine, and it's so odd that conservatives would complain about a boycott when they issue boycotts against pro-gay organizations all the time. They have one going against Starbucks, Google, Target, and now that Amazon has come out and is going to put a lot of money into the Washington Marriage Initiative, no doubt they're next on the list.
As America is getting more accepting of gay rights or of gay people, is the Republican Party getting worse and worse on this issue?
In most ways, the Republican Party is changing, and the polling that I mentioned certainly shows that. But there are other things that reflect that change. don't ask, don't tell. The repeal of that, for example, would never have happened without the votes of 8 Republican senators. The passage of same-sex marriage in New York was made possible, again, only by the votes of 4 state Republican senators. And just earlier this year, the New Hampshire, overwhelmingly Republican New Hampshire legislature voted to keep same-sex marriage. So you see these changes taking place across the board.
Okay. Well, David Lampo of the Cato Institute of the Log Cabin Republicans and the author of A Fundamental Freedom, Why Republicans, Conservatives, and Libertarians Should Support Gay Rights, which is out now. Thanks for talking to Reason TV.
Thank you.
I'm Nick Gillespie.